On this 4th of July weekend, we will have a short video about Margaret Hardy, who turned 100 years old several months ago.
Tell us about Horace and his horses.
Well, he was just always loved horses, and he rode in the led the parade in Las Vegas for the El Dorado one time, and he was just a horse lover. He knew how to handle them.
What do you think was the farthest the distance that he ever rode a horse?
Oh, he rode from here to St. George and to Pine Valley. He rode from here to Pine Valley one time.
Okay, and how many horses did he have, or did he just have a special one?
He had his special riding horse.
What was his name?
I don't remember.
That's okay.
Seems like it was.
And what can you think of to tell us about Horace and his horses? Anything unusual?
Well, he rode from over the Pine Valley Mountain with a group of scouts at one time. You know, led them over, and really enjoyed that. They started in central Utah, and rode clear over the top of Pine Valley Mountain and down on this side.
So did he teach horsemanship?
Yes, he did. He had a 4-H club and taught horsemanship.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Okay, Margaret, you tell us about the quilt from what you remember.
Well, when I first started to work here, I didn't have much else to do, and I cut them. This is factory, just unbleached muslin. But I cut the blocks, made the blocks, set the quilt together. And
What do you remember about Martha Ann Pulsifer Barnum?
Well, she lived neighbors to us. I don't tell what I know about it. She was quite a big lady, you know. She was heavy, and when she had to go to the bathroom, she'd just pull out her
dress. Okay. Tell us about her other family members.
Whose family?
Well,
Martha.
the Barnum family.
Martha Barnum.
Martha Barnum. Oh, she was the mother of Cornelia, the Hardy, that had a beautiful voice. She taught the singing mothers, and in fact, we met with her I think it was on Wednesday. Every Wednesday she taught us to square dance, and she was such a good leader.
Tell us what you remember about growing up in Mesquite, say when you were 8 or 9 years old.
Well, we lived on a ranch 3 miles up the river, you know. And I was 5 years old when we left here and went to St. George. I was up there for about 7 years. I started school in St. George and was in the 6th grade when we came back down here to study. But I remember, in the meantime, it seemed like every year I'd be here for a week or two of school.
And who were your school teachers you remember?
Priscilla Levitt was one. Anita Levitt, she married to Brooks later.
Okay.
And George Bowler.
Oh, we have a picture of George Bowler up here, I think.
Yeah, well, he was the principal at the time. We were going to have a peanut bus one morning. Everybody brought their peanuts to school, and you know, when the teacher come through, we're supposed to throw them at her. But George Bowler was the biggest one. He walked in the door and we all started throwing peanuts. And his son Grant was the closest to him he got him. He really gave him a spanking.
Could you bring that picture down for her? It's right over here.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
The one of,
So this man's picture is one of your teachers?
George Bowler.
Uh-huh.
He was our principal. I don't believe he ever taught. I never went to him as a student,
I
but
see.
he was our principal.
Okay. Well, since this building was an old hospital at one time, tell us a story about Bertha Howe.
Oh, Bertha was just a lifesaver to everybody. But I'll tell you something that was kind of funny. Her and Estelle Hafen were on their way to St. George one day, and right at the top of the hill up here, as we go out of town, there was a wreck. And so they helped the people, and she brought them back and went in the hospital to get and got a pill and a glass of water to give the woman, you know, to kind of calm her down. She stood right there and she took the pill and drank the water herself.
Oh.
We always got a kick out of that. Bertha was just down to earth, and she just did anything that we needed. She was a wonderful person.
and tell us about how, the things that Nephi Johnson knew to help with health here.
Well, Nephi Johnson was here was at the Meadow Massacre, and he, you know, that haunted him all his life. I guess it was really a sad situation.
Okay.
Have you ever read about that? Have you ever read Benita Brooks' book about that?
Okay. And did he grow herbs?
What?
Did Nephi Johnson grow herbs? Didn't he administer some kind of herbs?
I don't know.
Maybe I have him mixed up with somebody else.
Tell us what you remember about them growing grapes in Mesquite.
Oh, I remember a lot. Down at the grape farm, you know, they had that 40-acre grape farm. And we picked the grapes and put them on trays and put them out to dry. And then when they were dry, we've got the thing in here, the dryer. And then they'd run them over down that belt, and the stems would go off, and the raisins would fall down, and they'd box the raisins in 20-pound boxes, and they were shipped all over the country. That was the industry here, was these raisins. They were good. History. I mean, it's, we had such hard times then, and I remember when we first started this, when we first started to have, you know, the museum here, how people would give donations. They didn't charge anything, but they gave donations. And Reed and Wilda were dividing them. They thought they were, you know, they were for them. And then when I came, I said, well, no, it belongs to the city. You know, the city sponsors this. And so we went to the city, and gee, we were taking in quite a bit of money for them. But until then, they just figured that it was, you know, it was a donation, and they used what money was donated, they used.
So what would you like to tell the young people of the country today?
What would I like to tell them?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That they need to live their life a day at a time and do the best they can.
We sure thank you for sharing these moments with us.